I'm Kira Smith, and I want to help you run your law firm more efficiently and more effectively so you can have more profit, you and your team can be more productive, and most importantly, so you can have more peace. Once you've reached a point, y'all, you're going to hit a season. I hit a season in my law firm where I had to face the fact that I could no longer continue to serve more and more clients, new clients, new clients, new clients, while operating under old systems, right? If you have consistent revenue and you've reached a point where you have more clients than you know what to do with, you cannot continue to operate with those same old systems. You can't. Not if you're going to continue to serve on the level that you've been serving. If you want to continue to serve with excellence, right? You want to continue to provide the quality service that you know you can and you are called to provide to your clients. You're going to have to improve your systems. There's nowhere around it. As our business grows, we have to improve our systems. And there are very few places that attorneys can actually go. Once you've made a decision that you're going to stop kicking this thing down the road, y'all, there are very few places that attorneys can go to receive help on this. Very few coaches, very few consultants, very few videos like the one you're watching where people are even helping you to overcome these obstacles that everyone is facing while building their law firm, because they don't teach us this stuff in law school, right? They don't teach us. So if you're looking, you're saying, hey, this is a big problem for me. I have consistent revenue and I have to address this if I'm going to continue to serve my clients well and be able to continue to take on new clients. If you're saying, I'm ready to address this, today's video is for you. I'm going to give you the 5 essential systems. There's a lot of places that you can start. This is where you need to start. This is where you need to put your energy, right? So these are the 5 essential systems that every law firm must have. Everybody needs these systems. And the reason I'm saying start with these 5 is because these 5 are going to give you quick results. These 5 directly impact your bottom line. So when you revise these 5 systems, you're going to get instant relief. You and your team are going to get instant relief when you master these 5 systems. And these 5 systems are running smoothly, right? So number 1, y'all, the first system that we need to master is the intake system. Intake, when I say client intake, this is the process where we are communicating with prospective clients. They either call us on the phone, they send inquiries via email, they click on links on our website, on social media, however they get to us. Intake is the process when they are initially reach out to you and we begin communicating with them in an effort to determine what we're trying to do is we're trying to determine whether we can help them. So we're collecting information from them, right? We're exchanging information. We may send them some documents. They may send us some documents. We are trying to determine whether or not we can help them. Whatever the problem is they have, the legal problem they have, is that something that we do here, right? So we're exchanging documents and we're having conversations. That's what's going on in the intake process. This is so important. Your systems for intake are so important because this is the first impression. This is the very first impression that prospective clients are going to have with your office. When your staff is communicating with them and trying to determine whether or not, we can help them, and we're going to take that next step in scheduling an appointment with the attorney or whatever the next step is, right? So that's the first system that we need to focus on. We need to make sure this system is efficient as possible, that is streamlined. Number 2, the next system that we want to focus on is the sales system. This is where we convert. Intake is where we communicate with PCs or potential clients. They're not our clients yet. They're simply inquiring and we're evaluating them to see if we can help them, right? So the sales process, we have now evaluated their case. We have determined that the problem they have, we can help them solve it. That's what we do. That's exactly what we do. We have determined that, yes, we would like to take the case. Now we want to convert them. We want to convert them from a potential client to client because the problem they have, we can help them with that, right? So the sales process is what we need from them in order for them to go from potential client to client. So we need two things really. I mean, you may have other things that you take, but we really need two things. We need a signed contract and we need a payment. Whatever you charge, whatever your fee is, we need to, whether you're collecting your payment in full or you allow some sort of payment arrangement, we need a signed contract and we need payment. Once we have those two things, the sales process is complete. They have now been converted from potential client to client. And that is now a sale, right? That is considered a sale within your business once they've been converted from potential client to client, right? That sales process has to be seamless, just like the intake process. We want it to be easy for them to pay. We want it to be easy for them to sign their contract. We don't want them to have to come in and scan in a bunch of documents. We want it to be streamlined, right? Number three, y'all, is client onboarding. This is how we actually bring on a new client, right? They've paid, they signed the contract. Now, what is our system for onboarding them with our firm? How do we send documents to them? How are we asking them to send documents with us, right? How do we share and exchange discovery? What are the expectations? What can they expect from us, right? What are the things that we are expecting from them? This is where we lay all that out. And y'all, this is so important because if your onboarding process is smooth, if your onboarding process is streamlined, when they get to you as the attorney, they're going to have a completely different attitude. They're going to have a completely different perception of you and of your firm than they would have if that process was not streamlined. If they encounter so many obstacles in exchanging documents with you, signing things, if everything was so hard, when they get to you, they're going to assume that that's the way this relationship is going to be. If everything was smooth and seamless, when they get to you, they assume that that's the way the relationship is going to continue, right? So that's why the onboarding and the sales and the intake, all this is so important because we want them to have the right frame of mind. We want their expectations to be set by the time they get to the attorney, right? We don't want to be putting out fires before they even speak to us. We don't want them to be upset before we even start talking to them about their case. We don't want that, right? We want them to have experienced excellence even before they have an encounter with us. So this onboarding process, it needs to be seamless. It needs to be smooth. Number 4 is the delivery system. This is where we're going to have, our standard operating procedures, all our SOPs for actually managing their case. And if there's litigation already going on within the court system, like this is where we're actually delivering the service that they've paid us for, right? How are we managing their case and getting things done from the beginning all the way up to disposition? And then number five, y'all, is offboarding. So we've already talked about onboarding. We've already successfully onboarded them. We brought them on as a client. Now the case has been disposed of. What do we do? How do we offboard? What are our SOPs for preserving their documents digitally, electronically, the physical documents? What is our process for getting feedback? Asking them what things did we do really well? What things did we not do so well? What do we do when we're closing out a case, when we're closing out the file within our firm? That's everything involved in offboarding. So that's it, y'all. Those are the 5: intake, sales, client onboarding, the delivery system, how we're actually delivering the service, and then offboarding. Those are the 5 systems that you need to focus on. If you have consistent revenue and you have more clients than you know what to do with, and you need quick relief, like you need to develop and maintain these systems quickly. You need to revise your systems quickly. These are the 5 you need to focus on because these five directly impact your bottom line. You don't want to have all these new clients that you can't serve at a high level, that you can't continue to give the same high quality service that you've been giving. You want to focus on these 5 so that the quality of the service that you're giving to your clients is not impacted, right? So we want to focus on these because these directly impact our bottom line. This is what we want to address first. There's a lot of things we need to look at, but these are the 5 that we want to address first. We want to stop the bleeding, right? That's what we want to do. I guarantee you, if you address these 5, you will experience more profit. You and your team will be more productive and you will have more peace. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear, I want to hear what you're running into. I want to hear what you're going through as you're implementing this stuff, good or bad. I want to know. But I pray this video was helpful, y'all. I pray that this was some practical information to help you right now. That's what I want. I want to help you right now. All right. All right. Bye. See y'all later.